edition of Talking Ball with the Czar. I'm Emery Hunt, the Czar of the Playbook, here on the campus of Carnegie Mellon University with legendary head football coach Rich Lackner. Coach, appreciate you taking time.
Sure, my pleasure.
Well, you look at your career, over 200 victories, 9-time conference titles you've won, 5 times you've been coach of the year. How have you been able to find this level of consistency in the ever-changing landscape of college football?
Well, first of all, I inherited a great football program from a guy named Chuck Clausing, who was my college coach here at Carnegie Mellon. And he really got the program going at the Division III level in a very strong way. So I had a great mentor in Coach Clausing. When Coach Clausing left the university in 1986, they named me head coach at that time. I was 28 years old, had never been a head coach. And the first thing I felt was I needed to hire a great staff and 2 great coordinators, which I did. And I had Rich Erdely as my offensive coordinator for 28 years. He retired a few years ago. And then Terry Bodner, my defensive coordinator, has been with me all 32 years. I've been head coach at Carnegie Mellon. So I think it starts with a great staff. Consistency, I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. I believe that we've built I call it a culture here at Carnegie Mellon. Strong student athletes, making good decisions, doing it the right way in the classroom, doing it the right way on the football field, winning with class and losing with dignity. So there are lots of reasons for the consistency, but certainly staffing has a lot to do with it. Building that culture has a lot to do with it. And having great support from our administration here at Carnegie Mellon, doing it the right way from the AD on up.
In addition to building that great staff that Coach Lackner talked about, you look at his current offensive coordinator, Andy Helms, who replaced Coach Erdely 4 years ago. He has done a great job. He's also a Carnegie Mellon graduate of the Tepper School of Business, so this is a guy that also ties right into that message of keeping things consistent. Do you find that when you talked about staffing and it's all about consistent messaging, do you think that has also played a role in why the foundation has been solid since you've been here?
Yeah, I think the messaging has been consistent and clear for many, many years here at Carnegie Mellon. I think some people would describe me as somewhat old school, but I think that there are parents and players who are looking for that type of experience at Carnegie Mellon. I think that the proof is in the pudding, and when I explain to recruits about the incredible job that our young men do in the classroom, the winning percentage over the years, so that the term student athlete truly does apply here. And then you look at the job opportunities and internship opportunities that our players earn by coming to a school like Carnegie Mellon. I think that adds a lot to it.
Coach, you were a former linebacker. I was a former running back. 2 things they say travel well: run game, defense, and that's been the foundation since you've been here. You guys have been really good at it. Why is that so important from a philosophical standpoint?
Well, again, consistency. As I mentioned, my coordinator's been with me a number of years. He has a great plan, a great playbook, and he understands how to implement that plan and teach it and get it across to the guys. We're in Pittsburgh, for God's sakes. That's the Steelers, run game defense. The game has evolved to the point where you better be good at the run game and the pass game anymore. It's such a wide open game. You try to put 7 and 8 people in the box all the time, people are going to hurt you with the passing game. So sure, everything depends on taking on a block, shedding a block, making a good solid tackle, those type things, and stopping the run game obviously is very, very important, but it goes well beyond that in today's type of defenses, especially with the way people can throw the ball and spread you out today.
Do you find it easier to recruit student athletes that really want to play this physical brand of football?
Yeah, I think that the type of kid that we recruit at Carnegie Mellon has a great desire to be challenged period, in every aspect of their life. This is such a great university. They're not going to come here simply to play football and quote party. They're going to come here and be incredibly disciplined students. They want to be challenged in the classroom. They want to be challenged on the football field as well.
Coach, you're a Tartan through and through. You played high school football in Pittsburgh. You're a Pittsburgh native. You played college football here. You've coached here your entire career. So this is you. This is your program. What does this program and this university mean to you?
It probably means nobody else wants me. No, seriously, I grew up in Mount Lebanon, a great suburban community here in Pittsburgh. Played for a guy named Art Walker, who's a legend in Whippeal football here in Western Pennsylvania, and had a chance to go and play at Old Pitt Stadium my senior year for the Whippeal Championship with a great group of high school players. Matriculated to Carnegie Mellon. I arrived when I was 18, and I'm now 61, and I never left. And so, this is home to me in more ways than one. It's my home for my family, my children, my wife, but it's also my home for my occupation and my passion. And it means a great deal to be able to go back and coach at your alma mater. Do I miss the idea that I never became or went to another level of football? Not really, to tell you the truth. I'm incredibly happy with where I am. I'm incredibly pleased with what we've been able to accomplish here. The wins and losses are great, but if you as I look back on my career here at Carnegie Mellon, it goes way beyond the wins and losses. It has a lot to do with building young boys into men, watching those young men go off, get wonderful jobs, develop into great community members, have great families, do great things in the business world, engineering field, medicine, and give back to their communities and give back to Carnegie Mellon. So it's a very rewarding experience here that I've been blessed to have for the last 43 years.
Do you feel as though, let's say a lot of young coaches get in and they're chasing the next opportunity, but I think there's something to be said for building your own legacy and going somewhere and being the face of that particular program. You saw Bobby Bowden down at Florida State, Joe Paterno at Penn State, those type of icons attached to universities. At what point, is that something that played into your mind as you got on in your years here, or is that something you didn't even think about?
I really didn't think about that. There were some personal issues that were involved. My first wife, who passed away, had medical issues, and so I needed to be here for her medical team here in Pittsburgh. I had the opportunity to educate my daughter through Carnegie Mellon. I had elderly parents. My mom's since passed away, but my dad's still living, and I feel an obligation to be here for him as well. So there were personal issues that played into it also. It's a very personal thing as to what your career goals are. My career goals were to win and be pleased with my position wherever I am. And I've always been pleased with my opportunities here at Carnegie Mellon. I didn't need to be the head coach of Pitt or Penn State or Florida State. That doesn't mean a young coach can't have those goals and want to do those things. It's a very personal decision as to where they want to go, what they want to do, and what their long-term goals are, and certainly more power to them.
Coach, I've been around long enough to actually now have covered one of your games broadcasting-wise for the ECAC Bowl games. Last year it was at Franklin Field at Penn. You guys played Salisbury. How was that bowl game experience for you and your team, and what's the importance of the ECAC Bowl game to Division III?
Well, the last 2 years we've been fortunate enough to be selected and go to bowl games, and both experiences were incredible. The ECAC did the game with class, and our kids had a great time. It's really an icing on the cake to a successful season. obviously you're in a position where you're not able to get into the NCAA playoffs, but you're still a darn good football team, and to be recognized in that way and have an opportunity to play a team you normally wouldn't play because they're obviously from another conference, another area of the country, and to be able to play at Southern Connecticut State and then be able to play at Franklin Field at Penn was a great experience for our kids, and we really enjoyed it both years, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity again this year.
What would you say is, with nowadays, I feel like the country has become smaller. Students have a ton of options. Why would a student athlete choose Carnegie Mellon?
Well, there are a few reasons they would choose Carnegie Mellon. Number one, they first have to be a great student in order to be admissible by our admissions office here. They would choose Carnegie Mellon because there's, number one, I'm never going to tell them what they need, what they have to study. They can study anything they want here at Carnegie Mellon. Engineering, pre-med, computer science, business, doesn't matter. That's the most important thing. We always put our academics first, number one. That's the most important thing. Number two, they're going to come here because they're going to get a fantastic football experience. We're going to be in every football game. I'm not saying we're going to win every game. We're going to be in every game because there's a commitment here by the administration to provide us what we need to win, which are great facilities, a great coaching staff, budgets to cover our needs for all of our expenses and such, and the boys are going to have a great opportunity to play winning football here at Carnegie Mellon. The other reason they're going to come here is they're going to leave Carnegie Mellon with incredible internships and job opportunities upon graduation. I mean, it just is astounding, the graduates that Carnegie Mellon turns out and the opportunities that await them, whether it be with Amazon or Google or Ford Motor Company. You know the old saying, what do you have here, a bunch of rocket scientists? Well, last year our nose guard is with SpaceX. He's a rocket scientist, okay? So we have something special here at Carnegie Mellon, I feel. The continuity within the coaching staff, the commitment from the administration, the commitment from our career center, and from myself and my coaches to help these boys gain internships and job opportunities through our alumni connections. I think they're going to come in and find a competitive experience throughout their 4 years. They're going to graduate and they're going to say this was one of the best experiences, if not the best experience of their life.
Coach, I have to say, it's been a pleasure to talk with you on the phone, broadcast one of your games, and now meet you in person. I just wish you the best of luck moving forward, and hopefully we see these Tartans once again in the ECAC Bowl game.
We'd love to be there. Thank you, Emory.
Thank you for taking time, Coach.
Thank you.